Hello all, welcome to this new lesson. In the previous lesson, we discussed few good programming practices that needs to be followed while developing your C source code. And in this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to write a simple C program to find the area of a circle. Also, through this program, you will also be able to learn how to develop a source code from the scratch. Okay, so having said that, let's get started. So the program in hand is to find the area of a circle, right? And the method that I'm going to use to find the area of a circle is called as the logic tracing method. And according to this logic tracing method, we will have to first write the core logic of this program into the source code. And once the core logic is written, based on that, we will have to develop the other parts of the code. Okay, so we know that to find the area of a circle, the formula is pi r square, and in our case this formula becomes our core logic. Okay, so let me first add this core logic as part of the source code. Okay, so area of circle is equal to 3.14 f multiplied by radius Okay, so this becomes our core logic. And one more thing what I want you to observe as part of this line is that I have given meaningful names to these variables, so that when someone else comes and reads this code, they must be in a position to understand that I am writing a source code to find the area of a circle. Okay, so that is the reason the variables must be more meaningful, and it should be more readable, right? So having said that, this is the core logic. So based on that, we will have to develop the other parts of this code. Okay, now the next step is that we know that to find the area of a circle, we will have to give input to this variable radius. It means we'll have to assign some value to the radius, right? But to give some value into this variable radius, first of all we will have to create the variable radius, right? And to create the variable radius, we must know what kind of value will this variable radius hold. And we know that radius of the circle could be a floating point value also, right? So therefore, we will create this variable radius of type float. Okay. So therefore, let me write this declarative statement float radius come. Okay, so by seeing this core logic formula, okay, we know that we need two variables as part of our source code. One is radius to hold the value of radius, and the other is area of a circle, which will actually hold the result after calculating the area of a circle. Okay, and we know that the data type of area of a circle must be float, because this expression will result in a floating point value, right? So therefore, let me also create another variable called as area of circle, which is of type float. So therefore, we have the core logic, and also we have created two variables of type float, right? Now, the next step is that we will have to give values into the variable radius. And to give values into the variable radius, okay, we can either give it, okay, in the form of hard-coded values. That is, we can assign the values into this variable directly into the source code, or we can make use of scanf function so that the input can be taken through the keyboard. Okay, so we have learned in our previous lesson that we must not hard code values, because we have to make the code more generic. And to make the code more generic, then we will have to take the input, okay, using scanf through the keyboard, right? So that's the reason we will make use of the standard function called as scanf, which is used to read the input through the keyboard, right? So scanf, and we know that we are taking a floating point value because radius is declared as a floating point data type. Okay, so therefore we will have to take a floating point value, and the format specifier for floating point value is %f, and I will save that, or I will store the input in this variable radius. Okay, therefore I would say ampersand radius. So scanf is given, and scanf will wait for the user to enter a input through the keyboard. But it is good if I can actually tell the user to take some action, right? So I will have to tell the user to enter the radius, else the user may not know what has to be done, right? So he will only be seeing the the cursor blinking screen, right? And he will not know what kind of action has to be taken. So it is our responsibility to write a very nice diagnostic message which indicates user to take some kind of action. So for that, I will make use of the standard printf function and say enter the value for radius. Okay, so by reading this line, the user will have an idea as to what step he has to take on, or what action he has to, or what action has to be taken, right? So we have this printf and scanf also written. So we have this variables declared. Okay, we have told the user what to do, and the user might enter the input to the keyboard, and therefore the input will come and sit in the variable radius. And we also have written the logic to find the area of a circle. And once the area of a circle is figured out, it is our the next step that we'll have to take is to print the output on the screen. And to print the output on the screen, as you have learned, we have the standard printf function. So let me write this printf function once again and give a very nice diagnostic message which says area of the circle is equal to, we know that the output would be of percentage f, that is floating point data type, and therefore I will make use of the format specifier percentage f. Okay, so percentage f, and the result is in the variable area of circle. So I've given this area of circle as part of this printf. Okay, and a semicolon. So almost most of our code is written. So we have created the variables, we have taken the values through the keyboard, and we also calculated the area of a circle, and we also have printed the output on the screen. Okay, so but what is pending is the entry point function, which is called as the main function. We know that every C program, okay, must definitely have a main function, and these statements has to be written as part of our main function, right? Because the C program will start executing from the main function, right? So let me add that main function. Int main, opening brace indicating the block, like this, right? Now, so the main function is also added. Okay, but we know that the prototypes for printf and scanf is present in the file stdio.h, in the header file stdio.h, and we have to include that header file using the preprocessor directive. Okay, so as you can see that we have built the code based on the need. Okay, we did not start the code by writing hash include stdio.h, rather we are including header files only based on the need. Okay, so that we need not clog the entire source code by writing unwanted header files. Okay, so we have used printf and scanf, and the prototypes for printf and scanf is present in the header file stdio.h, and that is the reason we are including this line hash include stdio.h, right? So now our program is complete. Okay, it compiles and runs, but still to make it more readable, we will have to first add the comment lines. Okay, so let us write a very good comment line saying a program to add a program to find the area of a circle. Okay, so this is a very good comment line, so that when someone comes and goes through this code, he or she will be able to understand that I have written a source code to find the area of a circle. Okay, this is the first comment line which is needed. Okay, and I also feel that we need a comment line over here to indicate the core logic. Okay, so I would say logic to find the area of circle. Okay, so though this is not needed in such a simple program like this, but in more complex program, it is always good to write a comment line next to the core logic, so that the programmers understands what is actually happening there, right? So I have added the comment lines also, but to make it more readable, okay, I need to add indentation. As I've discussed in the previous lesson, indentation makes the code look more neater. Okay, and it makes the code more readable. Okay, so let me add a tab space. Okay, when I begin the block. Okay, now the code looks more neater and cleaner. And okay, let me make sure if I've given a space on either side of operators. Yes, I've given either side, a space on either side of the operators. And you can also see that I've given a line gap after every contextual statement. So this is your declaration statement, this is your printf and scanf statement. Okay, separated with a space, again a space to separate the core logic, and then again a space to print the output. Okay, so this makes the core more readable. Okay, more neater and sort of, right? Now, having done this, okay, I think I've completed the code for finding the area of a circle. So let me compile this program to see if there is any kind of compile time errors or warnings. Okay, so it is asking me to first save the program. So let me save it on my desktop. Let me give a good name to this by saying area of circle.c. Okay, because it is a C program, let me save it as a .c file. Okay, I'm going to save it on my desktop for now. Okay, and then say save. Yes. Okay, so as you can see that there are no errors or warnings, it means that the program is completely free of warnings or errors. I'm good to go to run this program, and if I run this, it must ask me for an input. the scanf should ask, the printf should print a diagnostic message. It says enter the value for radius. Now here the scanf is waiting for me to enter an input. So let me give an input as 4.5. Okay, this will be the radius of the radius that I'm inputting to the scanf. Okay, now scanf will take this value 4.5 and save it in the variable radius that we have declared in the program, right? So I will show it to you over here. So scanf is the one which will take the value 4.5 that I'm entering. It is a floating point value, and then that would be saved. This 4.5 will be saved in this radius. Okay, and then this formula will get applied, and after calculating the area of a circle, the result would be stored in this variable area of circle. Okay, so and after that I'll be using a printf to print the result back. So let me see that. I'll just press the enter key, and the area of circle is equal to 63.584999. Okay, so it says that the area of circle is being calculated and the output is also displayed on the screen. Okay, so this is how you will actually develop your source code from scratch. Okay, so using the logic tracing method. So as you would have noticed that I did not start the code by including hash include stdio.h or by writing int main or something like that. Rather, I actually started with the core logic, and based on the logic I started building the code. Okay, so by writing the code in this fashion, the amount of errors that you actually commit will drastically come down. Okay, so you will be in a better position to write better code. Okay, your mind will start thinking in a much better manner. Okay, so that is the reason I always prefer writing code using logic tracing method, and I want even you to follow the same method. Okay, so as an assignment, I want you to find the write a program to find the simple interest. Okay, so in the upcoming lesson I will actually write a program to find the simple interest, but before that I want you to write it by yourself. Okay, and then when I do it in my next lesson, you should be in a position to cross verify the your source code with my source code and compare and see which is better. Okay, probably yes, even you have the capacity now to write better code than me, and I want you to write really good code. Okay, so don't take this very lightly. I want you to do the assignment very seriously. Okay, so hope you will do it. So having said that, hope you enjoyed this lesson. Hope you learned how to write a C source code from the scratch. Okay, and in the next lesson let me write another program to find the simple interest. So having said that, if you like this lesson, please don't forget to like this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and also click on the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of the updates on upcoming lessons in this programming series. Okay, so having said that, meet you in the next lesson. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Love you all so much.